Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of March 17th. You have this card that says, let go of the past. It is time to envision a new story. You have this breathe in. It says, practice breath work today. We have this Virgo eclipse happening on the 14th, and even though this is for the week of the 17th, eclipses can last for like 6 months after the eclipse. And this eclipse is all about letting go. So I think all of us are letting go and envisioning a new story, as this card says. So we're all being asked to let go of something so that we can have something better. That's what lunar eclipses do, more or less. And a lot of you could just be working on changing your story. In your first row here, you have the Ace of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. All great cards for communication, but this could be you communicating with yourself, right? The Ace of Swords is the truth, but it could be the truth that you communicate to yourself and the way that you tell your story. So there might be, the Ace of Swords doesn't say that you are lying or anything like that. It just says that there may be things that you want, or there may be things about yourself that you want to express. And the Ace of Swords is about making that your focus, making your story your focus. And that's exactly what I would do. And if there are things that you don't like about your story, then I would cut those things out. If there are things that you do like, then that's what I would focus on. Remember, the Ace of Swords is laser-like focus. It is focusing on one thing. And you have the Eight of Wands here. I always say with the Eight of Wands, we cannot be pulling in two directions. We can only go in one direction. If we pull in two directions, we're stuck. We're staying right where we are. It's kind of funny that you go Eight of Wands, Nine of Swords to the Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords is the never-ending story. It is just doing things that you've been doing all along and never changing. And the Eight of Swords is being stuck in that. So, it kind of looks to me like there's actually a very easy solution for you to improve your story or to get out of something that you are stuck in. And what you could be stuck in is just the story that you tell about yourself. And not only that, but we have the World right next to the Ace of Swords. The World is your card, which puts you in a strong position, Capricorn, but the World can also be about creating your own world for yourself. And, that's what this looks like to me. You have the Page of Wands. I do feel it's time for adventure for Capricorns. Like, I definitely feel Capricorns need to, go on adventures. That could be just, getting out of the house. The thing about the Page of Wands is he's a very happy-go-lucky energy, and I'm pretty sure that I said this in your March monthly reading, that, embracing a more, kind of like non-attachment to outcome type of happy-go-lucky energy, being more playful, being open to playful opportunities like going and doing things, hanging out with friends, just having fun in general, is probably going to be the best energy for you. When we do those things, we get out of our head. And when we get out of our head, the ideas that need to come into our heads can come into our heads because we're not in our heads. So I feel that would be a really good practice for you right now. You have the Eight of Wands. Again, Eight of Wands is quick success, and we see a lot of quick movement here. We have the Eight of Wands, we have the Chariot right next to it. So this is very quick movement forward. And then we end this row here with the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands is coming up in the good stuff. And the Three of Wands can represent kind of expanding into the future or moving into the future in some way. So and it is a part of expansion. So a lot of you could be very quickly moving towards something that you want in life. And of course, that would be great. With the Ace of Swords, yes, you have the Star. I'm not surprised to see the Star. Again, the Star is like having a North Star. Having a North Star just means that you have one big idea that you aim at, that you work towards every single day. And if you do that, you will accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. The Star is just having a hope, faith, renewal type card, but it's a card of having something that gives you hope. It's kind of like your ultimate vision for your life. And this reading is basically saying, now is the time to start working towards it with the Star. With the Page of Wands, you have the Ten of Pentacles. I think, for some reason I thought you had the Ten of Pentacles at the end. You have two cards. You have the Queen of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. When I first saw that Queen of Pentacles, I thought it was the Ten of Pentacles, but doesn't matter. You have it once. Again, the Ten of Pentacles is building and leaving a legacy. Major focus for you, Capricorn, over the next, long time. So I think a lot of you are trying to build this in your life, and it's not something that'll happen overnight, but it is definitely something you will be working towards. The Ten of Pentacles is also your ultimate vision for your life, like very similar to that star energy. And so this is about kind of like working and putting the pieces of the puzzle together so you can build and leave a legacy. And so a lot of you are working towards this. I feel that your biggest fear is not having it with the Nine of Swords right there. It's like, Nine of Swords and Ten of Pentacles can say that you do have a big fear of not getting somewhere in life, when those two come up together like that. On one hand, I kind of feel like that's a bad thing. On the other hand, I feel it could be a good thing because sometimes that fear is kind of like what motivates us to make sure that we don't stay stuck. So again, that could be a good thing. Yeah, this is a very good reading, Capricorn. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Empress. Definitely could be a lot of abundance that you're creating or a lot of abundance coming in for you. It is a really good time. I've been saying to you for over a year, maybe 2 years now, that it's definitely Capricorn's time to shine. Pluto having left your sign, it's like you are, blossoming. It's like you've been this flower that's like stuck in its bud for too long, and now you're finally kind of like opening up and expanding, like a flower. I hope that makes sense. That was probably a terrible analogy, but there you go. So I feel that it's your time to stand out. It's your time to show your beauty to the world. But that beauty could be what you're able to accomplish, what you're able to do. It could be your ideas. It could be things you want to create. Whatever it is, it's going to create abundance. So I would get moving. Next, we're going to look at what's coming in for you. You have this flamingo spirit says embrace the in-between. You have this panther spirit says reclaim your power. Yeah, we kind of talked about that. Definitely time to reclaim your power. This time that we're in, until May, is a little bit like purgatory in some ways. It's like where, some of us might not be moving forwards or backwards much. We might be working on very foundational things as well. And you have the Ten of Pentacles, which I consider the Ten of Pentacles to be a foundational card. You have to work on those boring things at the bottom to be able to build up from, right? And so, you probably are doing work, but it might not seem like it's getting you anywhere, until, the future. So again, I think that for some of you, it's saying, don't worry. As long as you're making progress, you're making progress, and, keep putting those pieces of the puzzle together. That's where the success is going to come from. You have the World, the Nine of Swords, and the Chariot. The World, like I said, is your card. Whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. So very good. I feel a lot of you are trying to create your own world, but again, that takes time. And I know that's not what Capricorn probably wants to hear, but whatever you're trying to create, it's like, you might as well get started now so that in the future you have it. And I would keep building whatever you're building with the World card. You have the Nine of Swords. Again, I feel like this is the fear of not having something. It's like you do have the vision. Clearly, Star, Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. You have the ultimate vision of what your life wants to look like. This is just the overriding fear of not being able to have it. Whatever it is you want. And what you want, this is very big picture. This is not just one thing. It's not just like love or money or whatever. I feel this is your whole life. And I feel the Nine of Swords is a never-ending nightmare, right? Nine of Swords is having a nightmare, waking up, being stuck in the nightmare. But the problem with the Nine of Swords is he's not doing anything to change his situation. He's just staying in bed. And so you have to do something. You have to get started somewhere to get out of bed to move forward with the Nine of Swords. You have the Chariot. The Chariot, of course, can represent a victory or success. I do feel like you are going to make progress very quickly. The Chariot says that sometimes you have to set yourself apart. To live an extraordinary life, you have to make extraordinary decisions. You have to be unlike anyone else. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's leaving the city behind him so that he can set himself apart. So, again, he understands that to have something special, that he has to do something special. And that's the feeling I get off of the card. It's like maybe you're realizing that you have to do something more, right? With the World, you have the Nine of Wands. I do feel like everybody is trying to protect themselves from getting hurt right now, just in general. I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about everything. So the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. I do feel like you feel like this, Capricorn, like oh my God, I have to keep going, or like, oh my God, I have to keep pushing forwards, and I can't give up. And the answer is no, you can't give up. You're a Capricorn. You have to keep going. So I feel this is encouraging you to not give up on something. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Eight of Wands again, which is great. We go up from the Eight of Wands to the Eight of Wands to the Eight of Swords. Eight of Wands, again, is quick movement or quick success. The Eight of Swords can say that you are only looking at one way of doing things or doing something when there are many ways of doing something. So it kind of says you have to open up to all possibilities. With the Chariot, you have the Five of Swords, definitely a risk. I mean, Chariot is a Five of Swords decision in a lot of ways. Five of Swords can represent separation, breakups, walking away. He's winning at all cost here. But again, on the Chariot, the guy in the Chariot is charging away from the city behind him. So it makes perfect sense to me that some of you at this time, and especially with the lunar eclipse, you could be deciding to remove yourself from some situation or to walk away from something that has provided you with comfort for a long time. And like I said, this is just very much eclipse energy. You have this moon madness. Yes, this is a maddening lunar eclipse. It says avoid drama. Yes, people are going to be feeling uncomfortable if they're not already. I'm doing this video on March 11th, so this video will be published on March 12th. If you're watching this before the eclipse, which is happening on the 13th or 14th, depending on where you are in the world, again, people right before it and people after are going to be irritated, so, just know that people are irritated. You have this day moon, it says love on it. Yeah, definitely could be a little bit of love coming in here for you if you want it, so that's also a possibility. You have the Eight of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Seven of Wands. The Eight of Swords is about opening up to all possibilities, like I already said. She's only seeing one way to solve her problem when there are many ways that she could solve her problem. She just has to be open to solving her problem. And so she is stuck in these Eight Swords, and she could easily set herself free by kind of leaning up against those swords, cutting her hands free, and then she could take her blindfold off, and then she would see that she could set herself free. So it's like sometimes we just have to get out of a restricting situation. Nine of Swords, Chariot as well. It's like everything is the same in the city that he is leaving behind. So he has to put himself in a new environment so that he can get freedom. And I feel a lot of you could be doing that. You have the King of Cups. King of Cups could be a person coming in for you. So if you want love, it could be a person who has like very strong emotions, very stable emotions. On a personal level, the King of Cups can encourage you to explore your emotions. He kind of says, he has very deep emotions, like I said. So he has to explore those emotions on a very deep level to understand them. And that, understanding his emotions helps him make clearer decisions. And so it might be a good time for you to do a little emotional exploration and explore how you feel about this, that, and the other thing that's going on in your life. And that's definitely what I would do with that card. You have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you, when you truly believe it deep down inside, then it's for you. Kind of the funny thing that I get here for you, Capricorn, is that I feel like you do know. It's like you do know that something is for you. It could be like an accomplishment, or, with the Three of Wands, it would clearly be something that's going to expand your life, whatever it is. And so it's like you do know, but you're doubting it at the same time. So I do feel there's an energy here in this reading of removing the doubt about something. It could be anything. But the Seven of Wands is knowing that you know that something is for you. Yes, with the Eight of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Cups. You could be feeling very fortunate. If you are finding a person, you could be feeling very fortunate about it. Yes, we do have a Venus retrograde, but number one, I've heard a lot of astrologers saying don't date during retrogrades. Number one, Venus retrograde can bring in a destined connection. Literally what this would be right here. So I don't know where this whole thing comes from. Number two, I believe that we need to have as many experiences as possible in life. I feel people hold themselves back way too much by listening to tarot and astrology. As much as I love it, at the same time, I think people would be better served having experiences, even if it's a failure. As long as you look at those failures and say, what did I learn? And then you apply it moving forward, you'll have a much more successful life. So, I think that's what people need to do anyway. But again, this could be like a destined connection that's coming in for you if you want love. With the King of Cups, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, we see a lot of work going on here in your reading. I feel like you're building up that foundation of the Ten of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is just straightforward, diligent work. I also feel if you are attracting love, you could be attracting someone where it is very straightforward. Like, it's like you get what you get with this person, but that can be a good thing. It's like there's nothing hidden, it's just like very straightforward type of connection. So there you go. With the Seven of Wands here, you cannot make this up. You have the Ace of Cups. It's like maybe you do know about a person already here, Capricorn. Like if you have your eye on a person, or if you have recently met a person, maybe you already know. Like I said, I think people shouldn't worry too much about dating during retrogrades in the first place, but also take your time. Like don't rush during the retrograde. Take your time, pay attention, look at the evidence, all that other good stuff, and you'll be fine. The other thing is that the Ace of Cups is about getting into the flow. We have the Eight of Wands twice in this reading. The Ace of Cups can easily fill itself back up by reaching down into this water below it and filling itself back up. So there could be things that you can do in life where you can kind of fill yourself up, and these could be like hobbies or interests or whatever, and the Ace of Cups wants you to get more into the flow. Next, in your outcome row for the good stuff, you have this card. It says, the time is now. There you go. It says, it is time to act now without hesitation. Move past the old, move forward. Yes, the whole entire reading says that. You have this make your mark card, which it is time for you to shine, Capricorn. It's time for you to make your mark for sure. It says, stick to a decision and don't allow any outside forces to sway you. Yes, definitely. Extremely focused cards here. Star, Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Eight of Wands twice, Chariot. These are all laser-like focused cards. You pick one thing, you make it happen no matter what. And I feel that very strongly in your reading, that it's time for you to pick one thing and make it happen. You have the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Three of Wands. The Nine of Cups is definitely like a wish or a dream come true. So I feel that's really all I'm getting on the Nine of Cups is you could be having some sort of wish fulfillment, or you could be feeling like a wish is being fulfilled for you. And, of course, that would be great. You show up again as the Queen of Pentacles. So you show up twice in this reading, and you have the Seven of Pentacles as well. Queen of Pentacles, showing up as yourself puts you in a position of power and strength and allows you to get what you want from the reading. The Seven of Pentacles is a change in direction. So he's looking at those Seven Pentacles, and he's saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? And I don't know. The answer might be yes. The answer might be no. Both of these cards can represent analysis. If you're working on a project, a business, if you're already in a relationship, you might be looking at it and saying, like, am I really getting something from this, or am I settling? Or it might not even be about settling. It might just say that you realize that you're capable of more in life, and you could be making the choice or decision to change, or not. Right? You might look at something and be like, you know what, damn, this is going really well. I'm going to stay in this. So, it's really about you analyzing your own situation and saying, you know what, I am getting something for this. Now, the thing with the Queen of Pentacles is she's resourceful. She isn't wasting a bunch of time or effort or energy on something. She's being resourceful in whatever she's working on. So definitely pay attention to that. Like, as in, if you're putting way more into something than you get out of it, then it's probably not worth it. You have the Three of Wands. Yeah, tons of expansion in this reading. I mean, it's clear to me. What did this card say? It says, move past the old and move forward. And so, again, I think you're moving past the old. He's standing where he has always been at the top of these three wands here at the top of this hill. And he's going off on an adventure. He's getting on these boats because these boats are going to bring him towards something new or towards something different. And I feel a lot of you could be working towards something new or different in your life. And that's exactly what I would do with this card. With the Nine of Cups, you have the Ace of Swords here, which, yes, you start and end with the Ace of Swords. You will get what you're wishing for here, Capricorn. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and I do feel it requires, focus. And it could also require a big change. The thing about the Ace of Swords is that it cuts both ways. Usually with the Ace of Swords, we have to cut something out to get something better. Hey, guess what? Lunar eclipses represent cutting one thing out so we can have something better. And this is like the first eclipse in a long-ass time that I've done readings for where pretty much everyone's reading says this, that, we're really in a strong time of needing to remove one thing to have something better. You show up again with the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. You have the Devil. You really want to show up in this reading. Again, you show up 3 times. So this really just says that you are in control of the reading, or you're in control of this time, and that you need to take control to make things happen. With the Three of Wands, you have the Two of Wands. I look at these two cards as very similar. Yes, they're right next to each other, but I don't like not all cards that are right next to each other, in order, do I look at as similar. These two both represent taking the lead. They both kind of represent leaving a comfort zone. They both kind of represent stepping into the unknown as well. The Two of Wands, he has to leave his comfort zone and leave his castle where he is from, and he has to go on an adventure. Same thing with the Three of Wands. He has to, get on those boats, and he has no freaking clue where they're going. So definitely a time to step into the unknown. You have this casket. It says someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Yes, we already talked about it. Definitely could be ending some sort of situation in your life. You have this butterfly. It says a change for the better. Love it. Definitely, a very good reading. So, makes sense that there could be a change for the better. You have this knot. It says unsuccessful plans. I think we're all going to have unsuccessful plans at this time. Like probably things are not going to go according to plan. Eight of Swords says don't give up. Just because you tried to do something one way doesn't mean it's not going to work another way. So, I feel this is about trying again. You have this woman card. I feel like this is you. It doesn't matter if you're a woman or not. I just feel like this is saying Capricorn. It says dealings with relationships with a woman, but I feel this is you. And you have this hammock card. It says taking a vacation either physically or mentally. So definitely I feel that some of you need a vacation. This vacation could be what I said at the beginning of the reading, that you need to have more fun or you need to do more things that you enjoy in life. So I would definitely do that. You have this fair woman card. It says dealings or relationships with a woman with blonde, gray, or white hair. And you have this bat card. It says take care, enemies working against you. One thing I will say is people are a little bit sneaky right now. I just saw a story about a guy on Ghost Adventures. His wife tried to kill him, or tried to have him killed, right? Recently. So, I'm not saying that your wife is going to try to kill you if you have a wife, but what I am saying is that, people are, sometimes I think when people get put in a spot where people could be feeling very restricted right now, or they could be suffering in some way, that they can do some sneaky stuff. So I would be careful of people who are sneaky at this time. But other than that, looks amazing. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.